Welcome back to the Kiwi Wedding Podcast. My name is Lydia. I'm an Auckland wedding photographer at Lydia Rachel Photography and your host. On today's episode, I'm chatting with the lovely Libby all about her beautiful, intimate Arrowtown wedding. Originally from Yorkshire, Matt and Libby met on Tinder, moved to New Zealand pretty early in their relationship, and have built a beautiful life here. Libby shares their love story from a rainy Devonport proposal to finding the perfect green sapphire ring and planning a cozy autumn wedding that truly felt like them. We chat about keeping the day relaxed and meaningful, choosing an $80 council reserve for their ceremony spot, and how they pulled off a romantic speakeasy-style reception at the Blue Door Bar. Libby also opens up about managing the budget, the perks of a first look, and the tools that made their planning from afar stress-free. This was such a great chat, especially if you're thinking about having a destination wedding around Queenstown, where there are so many beautiful, beautiful venues, but they can cost a lot as well. And this just proves that it can be done without breaking the bank and how that might be possible for you. I know you're going to love it, so let's get straight into it. Enjoy episode 119 with Libby. Hi, Libby. Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today. So excited to chat all about your wedding.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I'm really excited.
We got to do a little engagement shoot in Queenstown, so it was so lovely to meet you then through a giveaway, wasn't it? Yeah, on the podcast
it sure was.
or something. So yeah, so cool to have followed your story and see your wedding photos pop up online. But to get started with, I'll just get you to tell us a bit about you and your husband, how you guys met, and your life together.
Yeah, perfect. So me and Matt met on Tinder, in 2017. Good old Tinder, and we both for any Brits listening, we're from Yorkshire. So I'm from Doncaster and Matt's from Huddersfield. So we're pretty close. And yeah, we pretty much hit it off straight away. I gave Matt a few hints of that I loved history. So one of our first dates was he planned a historical walking tour of Leeds. So I kind of knew he was the one straight away. So that was pretty sweet. And then after a year and a half, he said, "Shall we move to New Zealand?" And I was, why not? So we moved over pretty quick into the relationship, actually. So, and then straight into a camper van. And I thought it's either going to make us or break us. And luckily it made us. And yeah, it was a great adventure. And we traveled around in our little camper van. And yeah, that's pretty much us. And now we live in Auckland. And we rescued a little rescue dog called Murphy.
So good. I love that. So you were together for a while then and then got engaged. Can you tell us a bit about your proposal story?
Yeah, absolutely. So we got engaged after 6 years and we talked about it a lot, and Matt wanted it to be a surprise. He started looking at rings and he dropped a few comments and wasn't sure what style I liked. So we decided to ring shop together, quite nice, and get a little bit of input, steer him in the right direction. So we ended up going to Nolan and Varda in the city, and doing the whole process, making it together, which was really sweet. And we ended up with a green sapphire, which was, I've always loved coloured stones. So that was perfect. And yeah, Matt just gave me a weekend and said, keep it free. And I kind of was building it up in my head. I was like, I need to get my hair done, I need to get my nails done. And typical Matt threw me off, did it the weekend before. So I had no idea it was coming. We were on a rainy dog walk in Devonport up at North Head. We were in our dog walking clothes. We were wet through. And yeah, he just did it there. Me, Matt and a dog, and it was perfect and private. And yeah, it was lovely. I wouldn't have had it any other way, actually. I preferred the surprise, and yeah, I took away some of the nerves. That was good.
So sweet. I love that. Yeah, I love that he threw you off with the
Typical.
secret weekend. Yeah.
Perfect. I'm glad he did.
So good. Love that. Had you been one of those girls that had dreamed about your wedding? Did you have an idea of what you wanted, a sort of vision there? What were those first steps, deciding where to have it, all of that?
I actually never thought of my wedding growing up at all. All my friends talked about it at school, but I never did. The only thing I ever thought about for my wedding was I always wanted a father-daughter dance. Like I saw all the typical rom-com movies with a father-daughter dance. I was like, that's something that I really wanted. So that was just a little thing. We pretty much straight away knew we wanted to get married in New Zealand. And being from the UK, that kind of narrowed down certain people that could travel. And then we narrowed it down to whereabouts in New Zealand. We thought about Christchurch. We thought about Wanaka because we'd lived there. And Arrowtown is pretty much our favorite place in the world. Like it has to be Arrowtown. And yeah, there's so many great places in Arrowtown or in around Queenstown where you can get married. So we visited so many different venues like Stony Ridge, and we went out to Ripon in Wanaka, and they're all beautiful. And we're spoilt for choice in New Zealand. It's just amazing venue after amazing venue, but they didn't really feel like us. So yeah, that was, it took a little navigating trying to find out which route we wanted to go down. And then we just came across the Queenstown Council page, and we saw that you could get married at like specific reserves and parks. I was like, this is perfect. It's a little different. So yeah, we ended up getting married at Wilcox Green, which is just a tiny little reserve in Arrowtown, which was just perfect.
So stunning and such a good idea. I feel like everywhere you look down there is beautiful, basically.
Yeah.
So such a stunning backdrop, and incredible. Looking at your photos, that was just like a public place. Can't go wrong down there. I love it. And did you have your sort of top priorities you were thinking about for the wedding, the most important elements of the day for you?
Yeah, I think the most important thing was we really wanted it to feel like us and be really intimate and cozy and really relaxed. We threw a little engagement party a week after we got engaged, just like garden party, British style, like Union Jack banners everywhere with friends and family, and it was just really intimate, really really sweet. And we just thought if we could channel, that was just the best little party, and if we could channel that into the wedding, then that's just would be perfect. So we kind of knew we wanted, that was the vibe. We didn't want to go elopement because we really wanted those memories with just like our loved ones. So, and we also didn't want to do the big venue, so we had to settle somewhere in between. That was really important to find that sort of balance. And yeah, I think for me, the most important thing was having the wedding photographer and videographer was really important. And I envisioned having these beautiful like photos of just me and Matt. And that was like always in my head that I wanted to have something like that. So yeah, we spent a lot of time researching which sort of photographer was and videographer was like the style we wanted. And I really wanted a specific style, like very whimsical, romantic, like frolic in the field sort of like, like fantasy novel sort of vibes. So yeah, we went with an amazing photographer called Eloise Bickle, and her partner Cody did our Super 8 video, which I feel, not from looking, there wasn't too many people that offered that in New Zealand, so that really narrowed it down, and it did help. But yeah, I was very like really wanted the Super 8 because it ticks all those like old school romantic vibes. So yeah, that was really important, and yeah, we felt so lucky having them. They're an Aussie couple that live in Queenstown, but they were just amazing, and their photos and the video was just better than we could ever dreamed. They were just, yeah, that was perfect, and it all, yeah, so happy we put a focus on that, and yeah, it all worked out amazing. So yeah, anyone would be lucky to have them as well. So yeah, they really helped.
So good. Yeah, beautiful work. Your images I've seen are so amazing. And yeah, so cool to have that Super 8 vibe as well. It's really like special and romantic.
Yeah, very, very quirky, which is beautiful.
And how about your wedding outfits, your dress? What was that process like? Finding it, getting it made? Yeah.
Finding the dress, I did really early. I was like, I need to get this done because then the rest will be easy. I didn't want to build it up in my head again. So I just went to a few like wedding dress shops in Auckland, and I took just one of my best girlfriends and went a few times, made a day out of it, and she just bought her dress a couple of years earlier, so she was giving me all the tips. She made me try on every sort of different style. She was like, even if you hate it, you got to try it on just to narrow it out. So I think I tried on so many different styles, but I was pretty decisive with the dress. So as soon as I tried one on that wasn't the vibe. I was like, get it off. This isn't it. And I'd had a wedding dress saved on Instagram for about 4 years that I thought would be the one. So I tried that on last, and that was at Astra in Newmarket, Astra Bridal. And as soon as I put it on, I was like, yes, this is the one. So that was like, tick, that was done. And it was just like floaty sleeves, floaty dress, comfortable. And it was like a nice, like square line neck. And it's very me, it was perfect. So that was nice and easy. And then a bit of a struggle was finding Matt's suit. We had a bit of a vision in our mind of what style we wanted. And we were thinking of going down like the traditional tweed sort of route, which wasn't easy to find in New Zealand. So that caused a few issues. So we had to rethink that. And at the end, we settled on just a beautiful suit from Barker's. And we both love like collarless shirts. That's very, to me, very like Yorkshire vibes from back home. So we went with that, and Matt went with like a navy waistcoat. So it all tied in really beautifully. And we did matching with my dad and our 2 best men. And I bought Matt some little special Yorkshire Rose cufflinks, just like a little ode to home. And it was perfect. So yeah, it all worked out really well. But it's definitely a process. It's not, not a straight.
Yeah, interesting to hear that. Yeah, about the suits as well. It's definitely like an English kind of thing. But yeah, I guess a lot of them are a lot more, I don't know, modern vibes here.
The tux vibe wasn't the vibe, but yeah, so it took a bit of navigating.
And yeah, I love that you had that dress saved for so long and then it worked out. It's like sometimes you think you know what you want and then you hate it. But yeah, just like
magic.
You really knew. Yeah, so good. And so you did have a bridal party. How was that process choosing them? Was that quite easy?
Yeah, we found that one of the easiest decisions actually. We both had a best man each, and so I had my best friend from high school fly in who lives in the US now, and we've been friends for like 18 years, so that was like a no-brainer. So that was perfect. And then Matt also had his best friend from the UK fly in, so it was perfect. We had one each, perfectly balanced, and we also had my dad as well, who was just the bride. So they were all in matching suits, which was beautiful.
I love that.
Yeah.
And how about the guest list? I can imagine you had quite a few people fly in, and I mean, it was kind of a destination wedding, not where you lived in New Zealand already. So, but yeah, how did you find that? Did you have to kind of narrow it down, or did you do a bit of a big invite list?
Yeah, it definitely wasn't easy. Having it in New Zealand, like you said, it definitely narrowed down a lot of people who can't fly. But still, we did have a lot of people fly in, like our best men, my dad, my stepmom, my grandparents, Matt's parents. We had some really like key people flying, which was perfect. But yeah, narrowing down definitely wasn't easy. We obviously wrote like an initial list, and it must have been about 50 people. But the thought of saying our vows and my vows in front of that many people freaked me out a little. So we had to narrow it down. Our reception venue also said, gave us a few ideas on like seating plans. So if we wanted to do seated, it had to be under 20 people. Or if we wanted to do like a walk and fork, we could have up to 40. So that kind of like narrowed down where we wanted to go. So we settled on 30, which I think was the perfect number. And yeah, we had time to spend time with everyone. And it was pretty perfect actually, but it did take some work, definitely. But yeah, that was definitely the perfect number in the end.
Yeah, so nice. Quite an intimate wedding then. Like, I mean, a lot these days are just like 100 or more, which can be quite overwhelming. So yeah, really special. Yeah, and I feel like having it where you did, if people were visiting New Zealand maybe for the first time, it's like a very good way to show off the country, such a beautiful part of it. So
I don't think it could be better. I think everyone that travelled in from England were just in awe. It is really just the most beautiful place. And obviously it was autumn when we did it because we got married in April, and the leaves were beautiful.
So nice.
Like, this is a dream. Is this place real?
Amazing. Can you tell us a bit about the big day, maybe that week leading up to it, how it all went, and any highlights or favourite moments?
So we had family staying with us from like a month before the wedding. So it was very busy. It was a full house, but we all travelled together down to Arrowtown like 3 days before the wedding, and we had booked a big Airbnb. so all the family could stay together. Because they'd floor that way. We wanted to spend as much time with them as possible. So that was really special. And that was just walking distance to Wilcox Green. So that was really nice. And obviously really close to Arrowtown, so we could just walk everywhere. But yeah, the big day, we kept it like our normal routine in Arrowtown. We just woke up early, went for a walk, just me and Matt, got a coffee. Yeah, just a bit of us time. And then we separated. Matt went to his best man's. He went for a run, went for breakfast with my dad, which was really sweet. And then, yeah, I just got ready, hair and makeup at the Airbnb with my stepmom and my grandma, which was really special. We actually ended up doing a first look, which we weren't actually going to do. Like, I did like the traditional idea of seeing Matt at the aisle, but actually having the first look was amazing because it just like alleviated so much of the nerves. So that was perfect. So we actually met up at Jack's Point, just outside of Queenstown. And that's where we did our, obviously, first look and our couple photos. And that was really special. It gave us just a bit of alone time, just to like chat, like talk about how the day's gone so far. So that was perfect. And then we drove back to the Airbnb together. We had family photos done in the garden of the Airbnb, which was beautiful. And then we separated again. We said, we'll see you at the aisle. That was good. I was still really, really nervous, but it was nice to have that time together. So I highly recommend the first look. That was just, yeah, perfect. So then we just, separated. Matt went to set up the chairs at the ceremony venue because we didn't have a wedding coordinator. We did it all ourselves. So Matt was responsible for setting the chairs up, making sure the flowers looked good. That was his sort of to-do list. And I relaxed a little bit, had a cup of tea, of course, and made our way to the ceremony spot. The ceremony was meant to start at 4:00. So everyone was ready. It's impossible for me to be late. So Matt knew he had to be ready for exactly 4:00. He couldn't be later because can't do it. So made my way there. I drove down with my dad, which was really special. And we had a bit of a moment in the car where we just, before we set off down the aisle, we danced to a few of our songs, just got a few nerves out, which was a really special moment. And the ceremony was just perfect. It was slightly cool, but it was a blue sky and the sun was out, and it was just a dream. Once it was all done, everyone and the guests, we just up and walked to the reception venue, which was a 5-minute walk, which was really special. Someone just grabbed the flowers and we just strolled through the main street of Arrowtown, which was lovely. And the reception was at the Blue Door Bar, which is like it's like a speakeasy vibe. It's all like stone, like a little bit Scottish feeling. There's like a fireplace. It was beautiful. Yeah, we hired that for the night. Like the fire was roaring. Yeah, it was just the best day. And I think the most favorite part was it just felt like there was a lot of love and the energy was amazing and everyone was just, it was just the best.
And you ended up doing that kind of walk and fork style dinner. Yeah, nice.
Which was very relaxed. And we had mulled wine, which is, I love anything winter related. So mulled wine was perfect. That was just, the cocktail of the night, which was great.
Oh, sounds like the perfect autumn day, Central Otago, bit of sun, but still crispy and cozy. Yeah, love that. So good. Yeah, sounds like such a special day. And I love that you did the first look as well, just having that time together. And it's kind of breaking tradition a bit, but I don't know, it makes it so special. And then it just makes the whole day flow so well as well. Like you're not ditching everyone to go and do photos for hours.
Yeah, absolutely. So worth it. The pros of a first look was so much more than anything else.
Was there anything that you found quite hard about the whole wedding planning process, or that you look back on and regret or would have done a little bit differently?
The hardest part we found was the what ifs and the uncertainty. What if people can't make it from home, like our best men, or certain people, or what if it rains because we're getting married outside and there was no plan B. It was just, this is it. I think it was just the uncertainty, honestly, and we just had to keep reminding ourselves, just whatever happens will be, and it's going to be amazing. Even if it rains, it's going to be really special. So just, and we honestly, we don't regret anything. I think it was, perfect. But don't stress over the small things.
Yeah, it's so hard to
Yeah.
alleviate those feelings of what if in the lead up. But yeah, you really do just have to kind of focus on embracing whatever happens and it'll be fine, it'll work out. Yeah.
Yeah, it all happens, for a reason. It'll all work out.
Did you guys have a set wedding budget in mind, if you're happy to talk about that? And yeah, how did you find that whole side of things?
Our budget was 20,000. And we did end up going a little over. I think we went to 22. So not too much, but we did go over a little bit. And I think some of the biggest costs were like the photographer and the videographer and the reception, because that was the whole food and drink included. We really try to keep to that budget, and I think we simplified a lot of things, other things. So we really narrowed down what were the most important things we wanted to spend the money on. Like, I think not having a wedding coordinator really helped to keep the budget down as well, and just do it all ourselves. And obviously the ceremony spot at Wilcox Green, like the high was $80, so it was so reasonable. So there were some things where it's like you spend more because they're, and then reduce on others. But yeah, it was obviously a bit of a challenge to just keep on track and keep having budgeting sessions, which we did like once a week. I think Matt was a little bit, let's have a week off. Let's have a week off from the budget this week.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just, having like a really detailed Excel sheet and just keep note of everything, and keep coming back to it. And is it worth spending money on this thing? It could be, on other things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. Very impressive though, even though you kind of had a relatively small amount of guests. I think a lot of people have this perception, especially about like Queenstown, Wanaka weddings, that if you're going to do that and as a destination wedding, then it's going to be, 60, 70, 80 grand that you're looking at, but doesn't have to be. And thinking about those like council owned spaces, or like if your favorite restaurant you could do it in, or a bar or something, is so cool.
Exactly.
So
there's a lot of different ways to do it, and we did get some big quotes initially, which I think was a little shocking. But like you said, the council websites are so great, and there's some beautiful spots. And our reception venue actually wasn't advertised as anything wedding related. It was just a function space. So again, that was a great little hack of saving cost.
Such good advice, good for people to know. I think you don't always have to go with like a wedding venue. Did you guys go on honeymoon straight away? I guess you were kind of already away. Did you just stay down there for a while? What did that look like?
Yeah, we did stay down for another week afterwards, and travelled around, showed off on the sites. We ended up going to Wanaka, Mount Cook, Christchurch. We stayed in a beautiful little like batch in the middle of nowhere in Canterbury, which was perfect. So we didn't really go on a traditional honeymoon straight away, because we wanted to spend as much time with people who had flown over. Like a honeymoon in itself, it was beautiful. And we are planning to go on an official honeymoon at Christmas. So we're currently planning.
Next thing to focus on.
New focus. We're going to go back to Japan at Christmas, which we've been before. It's the best place. Cold Christmas again, which we love. Yeah, nice. And it's nice to spread it out and have something else to look forward to.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that. Such a cool way to do it. Did you have any helpful resources that you used during the planning process in terms of like finding inspiration or vendors, stuff like that?
I religiously listened to this podcast just for different ideas very early on, especially any episode that I saw was around Queenstown. I was like, just to get some tips. Different vendors, it was really helpful. Also, we used Notion, which was such a lifesaver, because both me and Matt had the same access, so we could see our like joint pages, and we kept everything on there: the budget, the to-do list, the vendor details, the itinerary. So that was great to have everything in one place, and we could go in and update it, and it would just show straight away on the other person's, and it was perfect. And then Matt was the budget man, so he had like the most detailed Excel document that I would never touch of the whole budget. So that was great. That was all really helpful. I don't know what I would have done without it. I think my brain would have exploded.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Notion's a really good one. I don't know if I've heard people mention that you kind of have these tools and systems you might use in your work, but it's like a big project, your wedding. So helpful to use it for that.
Yeah, and it's free. So
yeah.
perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Amazing. Do you have any other advice that you would say to a couple that's planning their wedding at the moment?
I think I'd say just explore all the options. There's so many different styles of wedding you can do, and whatever your budget is, you can find like your most perfect day. So just talk about with your partner what brings you both joy, like what food you like to eat, where do you love to be, and I think just go from there. I think it really like narrows down what you like. Like if you love Italian, like that's like a no-brainer for the food, or yeah, just sit down and have a conversation and yeah, talk about what you love and yeah, explore everything.
Yeah, love that. Such good advice. And what is married life like now? Do you feel like you got any of the post-wedding blues?
I think we both got post-wedding blues from all our like loved ones flying out.
Yeah.
It's so sad. It's just like heartbreaking all over again. But it was just the best time. So yeah, we've been on a little come down from then, but having little hints of the wedding, like this podcast or receiving our like wedding video or planning the honeymoon, is just all little bits that give you a bit of wedding bliss again, which is lovely. But yeah, married life is just great as always, which is perfect.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, so good. Amazing. It's been so lovely to chat to you and yeah, hear all about how everything went. Is there anything else you wanted to add as we wrap up?
I think just anyone who's engaged, just cherish every single moment because it goes so quick. Every moment, like the initial like planning, dress shopping, decision making, everything. Just enjoy it because it's so special. Enjoy it. It's the best thing.
Oh, so cool. Love that. Amazing. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been amazing. Love talking about it again.